prescriptive about what we need to consider. So, and they also tell us that when we look at the proposals, we should base our decisions 70% on business and market factors, and I'll describe what those are later, 15% on economic development factors, and 15% on location factors or siting factors. It's probably tough for you to read. I'll go through some of these. What are business and market factors that make up 70% of our decision? The highest potential and highest prospective total revenues are going to be derived by the state of Maryland. The proposed revenues from a proposed location based upon a market analysis. The extent that that proposed location encourages Maryland gaming participants to stay in Maryland and not cross the line and go gamble someplace else. The extent to which a proposed location demonstrates that the facility will be substantial regional and national tourist destination. The proposed capital construction plans and the competitiveness that that facility creates. The amount of gross revenue that's allocated to the operator over the term of the license. The extent to which the proposed location will preserve existing Maryland jobs and create new net jobs for Maryland. And then the contents of the applicant's plan to achieve minority business participation goals. I think it's 9 or 10. Those are the criteria that we have to consider when we look at business and market factors. Those are the set forth in the statute, very detailed, that the legislature did. The next one is the economic development factors. Go to the next page. Sorry, for 15%. That's the anticipated wages and benefits for the new jobs that are going to be created, and also any additional economic development that's planned in the area of the proposed facility. Those are the factors we look at when it comes to economic development. And then lastly, for location factors, we need to look at the existing transportation infrastructure that surrounds the proposed facility location, the net impact of a proposed facility location on the surrounding residential community, and the need for additional public infrastructure expenditures at the proposed facility. So we look at factors dealing with traffic, we look at different things of that nature. That's part of what we do when we get to the location factor. And then the very last slide says, overall, the one factor that we really have to keep foremost in our mind as we're looking at those 70, 15, and 15 is what's in the best interest and public good of the state of Maryland. So we do have some discretion, but we can't go to the extent that what we're doing is not considered to be in the best interest of the state of Maryland as we move forward. So that's the process. It is we found it to be relatively effective in the fact that we've done 5 of these, and a couple of these have been appealed. Our decisions have been appealed. There is a right, once we make a decision, the people who are not successful and who we do not award the license to have the power to appeal their decision. It goes to, under the new law, goes to what's called the Board of Contract Appeals, which is a 3-member panel who listens and we testify and cross-examine. An appeal from there goes to the local circuit court, and then the appeal from the circuit court would go to the Court of Appeals, the highest court in the state of Maryland. We have been challenged on our decision a couple of times. To date, we have not lost any sort of litigation that's been brought against us or the process by which we've been following. So that, in a nutshell, that's our process, and that's what we do. I can tell you that the other commissioners and I have stated that it is our intention, to the extent that we can under the law and the extent that we can under procurement procedures, to make this as an open and transparent process as possible. There are various things we cannot do, but we intend to keep this as open and transparent as possible, and we'll hopefully give you plenty of time with respect to the public hearings and for that to be announced, and look forward to working with the councilman as far as finding a location and making sure that those public hearings and our site visits are properly represented. I urge you that you feel free to go to that website that I mentioned. You'll find a wealth of information on there For example, you'll find the request for proposals. You'll find the register of the applicants, sort of what I showed you earlier, who the 3 applicants are. You'll see questions and answers that were proposed during the request for proposal process, where either applicants or their lawyers or other interested parties ask questions regarding how we were going to review the applications, what some of the procedures were that we're going to follow. It has the questions and the answers there that you can see those moving forward. Again, it indicates a list of who attended pre-bid conferences, and then you can also look at some of the previous decisions that we have made on the other locations. If you just go and look at Maryland Lottery and Gaming Control Agency, it'll pop up right there, and on the home page, on the top right-hand corner, there'll be a little box that says Video Lottery Facility Location Commission. And if you click on there, that'll take you right to our site.